What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Action Network podcast. I am your host, Chris Raybon. This is our NFL Week 1 betting preview for 2025. Today, we're going to talk about sides, totals, moneyline underdog, parlays, added a new segment, anytime touchdown parlay as well. And of course, we're going to build our Sunday six-pack of best bets. We're going to do it with none other and the help of my co-host, the Prime Minister of Degenerate Nation, Stuckey, for the 7th consecutive season. Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you. It's good to be back. Let's have a season, baby. I'm so excited to just look Thursday night, Friday night, but then especially Sunday when we get that just a full slate of games again. I cannot wait. I am chomping at the bit to get this season started. So let's roll, baby.
Yeah, I won't delay you betting on the Titans any longer. We're going to jump right into the six packs. I just want to make a couple of updates for the show this season. We're not going to do Thursday night football because that just kind of drags things out. We're going to jump right into the six pack. Same thing, best of the rest at the end. We're just going to spend the time on the bets we love and try to give you guys more content for the bets that we're actually betting and try to trim the fat. And also, this season, the Action Network podcast will have a new episode out every Friday morning. It'll be me. It'll be Sean Kerner. And we're going to be talking more anytime touchdown scorers. So if you like betting touchdown, please check out those new episodes as well, starting this Friday. Had some real good success last postseason with that. So excited to be back on that. But we're jumping right into it. Week 1, Sunday six-pack, 2025. If you're new to the show, we score it. Stuck. What is it? It's 2 for our first 2, and then 1 for our third now.
Yep,
Is that how we're doing? Yep. And then a point for our total. You sweep them, you get an extra point. So we'll keep score. Got the edge last year, probably just because of the Titans stuff. But so I'll kick us off for my first pick of the 2025 Sunday six pack. I'm going with the New York Giants +6 at the Washington Commanders. 3 reasons I like the Giants in this spot. Number 1, you look at these matchups last season, Washington won by 3 and Washington won by 5. 3 touchdowns to Russ in Washington's game against them as well. So you also have that. And now I think Washington could stumble a little bit on offense. I think both of these teams are improved, but the second thing is the Giants, they added Abdul Carter, they added Adebo, they added Holland at safety. They got pretty good players at every level of that defense, but Washington has not practiced as a unit on offense. And remember, they've added new pieces on the line. They've added new pieces at wide receiver with Debo and Wayne. They've kind of remade the running back room a little bit as well. So that could come back to bite them, especially early in the season. And then there is going to be some natural regression with the Commanders. They had a historic season in terms of conversion rate on 3rd and 4th downs. Jaden Daniels, though, on early downs, his numbers were just average 20th in success rate. So I do think there's going to be some natural regression, even if I think it's lazy analysis. People are kind of saying, oh, Jaden Daniels might follow that Stroud arc. I mean, he could, but I think that's just kind of lazy. But I do think just naturally you'll see kind of a little bit of a comeback down to earth for him. And week 1, it's time to bet dogs, baby. Week 1 divisional underdog, 67 and 44, 60% against the spread over the past 2 decades. That is courtesy of Action Labs. So my first pick is the G-Men.
Yeah, I might need 7 here to get involved. It's funny. I'm the fader of Washington. I'm fading Washington week 1. So I might look live. I might get involved at 6, but I don't show too much value. I mean, the Commanders, I think that they're going to have a rougher season than many think. There's been 8 hype teams, that went from like 100 since 2015. They went from like 150 to 1 to win the Super Bowl the year prior to under 20 to 1. 6 of those 8 that year finished under 500. I'm curious. There's a couple matchups I'm curious to watch here. Neighbors, who ate up Washington last year. What does Lattimore? Lattimore, I think, is the key to that Washington defense. And who's that second corner for the Giants? Is it Flott? Is it Banks? There's a reason Banks aren't open on Sundays. I think they'd be better served going with Flott. And then what does Debo have left in the tank? But you're right. Road divisional dogs also above a field goal, 60% week one. If I had to bet it, I'd side with your Giants, but I wish I would have grabbed that number earlier. I know that you did got some 7+, but so lean that way, but haven't quite got there myself.
I'm ashamed of you, Stuck. Like this is everything you love about a play. It's the G-Man, you're the G-Man Undertaker. It's the Fade Cliff. It's the week one dogs. Like you gotta come on, man. You gotta join me. I'm betting it again at 6. I'm betting I'm under 5 with this one. I just think there's too many question marks early in the year for Washington. But where are you going? What's your first pick?
Good to see you coming around on my Washington takes. All right, for my first pick of the week one Sunday 6-pack, I'm going with my Green Bay Packers -2.5 at home against the Detroit Lions. If you want to go into trends, both teams, you can make a case for both teams. Dan Campbell's 11-3 against the spread in September. Goff is 8-0 against the spread in week one. But LaFleur is 15-3 against the spread the first 3 games of the year, including 7-0 against the spread at home. Over the first 3 games of the season since 2019, he has been the most profitable coach in the NFL. So you can make a case trend-wise for both teams. Should be an excellent game. But I have to put my money where my mouth is. I'm selling the Lions. I'm buying the Packers. I have the Packers at home, laying under a field goal in game one. And there's other reasons why I'm willing to go there. Number one, I have the Packers power rated ahead of the Lions coming into the season. And there's no questions with their coordinators. There's no questions with the interior of the offensive line for Detroit. Now it's going to have basically 3 new positions up front. Interior pressure, talked about this all offseason. Interior pressure against Goff, not good. And by the way, they added Micah Parsons. That was like kind of their one weak link. We'll see if he can go. I assume he's going to be able to with his back issue. But that was kind of the one area where they had to address. I talked about it. I said, hey, on our preview pod, there's a sneaky suspicion it's going to happen. And it did. Curious to see how the corners come together for Green Bay with Hobbs. And I think they'd be better served going with him in the slot. It looks like they really want to have Bullock there. So, yeah, you might see they're going to attack the slot, which is a little bit of a concern of mine. But the new coordinators, Goff with potentially interior pressure, and this Green Bay team just primed for a huge bounce back this year. I'm riding with Green Bay, who did go 0-2 against Detroit last year. But the Lions in those 2 games, one of them, Love, was hurt, went 6 of 7 on 4th down, scored 4 touchdowns on those 6 4th down conversions, and both games were still close. By the way, there was no Hutch or Parsons in either one of those games, so that's worth noting. And then the Lions are also more banged up. Like there's no Ali McNeil here. They lost one of their other better defensive tackles for the year, Josh Pascal, one of their depth rush pieces. Some of their offensive linemen have been dinged up, so they're a little bit more banged up. I'm trusting this Green Bay team that I'm all in on this year, and a Lions team that I think takes a step back with some coordinator uncertainty. And I think this is Green Bay's game. Give me the Pack. Go, Pack, go.
Yeah, I'm glad you and I had that conversation. I hope everyone got to listen to that preview pod, because we were talking about Packers Super Bowl tickets right then and there, and you mentioned that they could make a big move. So I went and grabbed it, and that kind of, it's like half now. It's like
25-1 to 12-1.
Right. So that was valuable. Talking through the Giants situation as well. I got them at 7.5. So definitely some good early leans there. But I agree. I think the Packers are onto something. I think this is a team that's on the brink, and they're starting to do the one thing that kind of always plagued them, which is be aggressive in the front office.
Yeah.
Going out, drafting wide receivers. And then I'm cautiously optimistic about the corner situation, only because I see what they're trying to do. We always talk about what's the future of the NFL, positional versatility, right?
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. Yeah,
exactly. So why not get ahead of it? It's not like Jair Alexander was just a figment of our imaginations. Anyway, I know he's done your Ravens, so hopefully he does well. But for the Packers, he played 7 games last year. So this Parsons move could be just massive for them, because they were a great defense in first year of Halfley, and they did not really have a pass rush. Now you're not going to be able to double team Rashawn Gary. You mentioned it, the Lions having some issues on the line, and people talk about the Hutch rule and how good he's been in practice. But another way to look at it is the Lions offense probably wouldn't have even been able to get into their plays against pressure. So that's kind of concerning, because now you're going to go up against a formidable pass rush in week one. So, and you're not going to have a hutch rule. It's just going to be Jared Goff on the grass. So, yeah, I like the Packers both in this spot and over the course of the year. All right. For my second pick and the third overall of the week one 2025 Sunday six pack, I'm rolling with the Atlanta Falcons plus 2.5 at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number one, Tampa Bay is just not in peak form right now. They
Nowhere close.
Nowhere close. On offense, their left tackle Tristan Wirfs out. Chris Godwin out. Jalen McMillan out. So yes, you got Emeka Egbuka, clutch draft pick by Jason Light, who does a great job. But
Cade Otton also might not go.
Yeah, Cade Otton,
but he's questionable.
Injured on the injury report. Seems like he'll probably go, but not ideal to be banged up. Same thing for Rachaad White. And this is going to be now your first game post Liam Cohen, and we talk him up a lot. So there could be some fall off here, especially because he got so much out of a very similar personnel grouping on that offensive line. So you could see them take a step back even in the run game because he really got a lot of buy-in from them last year. And then I think Atlanta, every year we're kind of hoping they finally put it together on defense. We're not going to bang our heads against the wall. That would just be crazy. But it's week one. This could be a buy low spot on their defense. They did go out and add some edge rushers, some youth, importantly too, in the first round with Pearson Walker. They took a shot on Floyd in free agency, and then addressed the secondary. In
it looks like a couple rookies could start in the secondary.
Yeah, so there's going to be a few rookie starters at positions of need for them. So there is at least the potential for this defense to be better because it's been so bad. And then you flip it over. Okay, well, Tampa Bay, Atlanta's adding youth. Tampa Bay is aging on defense now. It's been a decent defense, but with Vontae David's a year older, you went out and got Hassan Reddick, who was just bad last year. So I don't know if that's going to be able to take advantage of the McGarry absence for the Falcons there. And I think this Falcon team, they played really well against the Bucs defense last year. Now, granted, it was Kirk Cousins, but they won both games, 36-30 in overtime and a comeback, and then 31-26 a few weeks later. And against a banged-up Bucs squad, which is kind of the form the Bucs are in currently. So that was when the Bucs really showed slippage in that middle part of the year where, yeah, they were still able to do some things on offense. Now Liam Cohen's gone, so that's even up in the air. But that's really where the Bucs were most vulnerable. So you're kind of back in that same situation. And week one, divisional, home underdogs, 64% against the spread over the past 2 decades. So give me the Falcons plus 2.5. This is one of those lines that could look. I mean, you're essentially saying the Bucs are in a whole different stratosphere than Atlanta. I don't think there's that much separation. So I think there should be a lot closer to a pick 'em.
Yeah, the Falcons' home field advantage has not been great since 2018. Them and the Saints are falling off there. Saints haven't had a winning season against the spread since 2018, which is surprising. You think of them as like a big home field advantage. There's still tickets out there down there for New Orleans home opener. It's kind of sad what's happened to that crowd. But Atlanta doesn't have the best crowd, best home field advantage, and it's a divisional game. But yeah, this is assuming that the Bucs are like a field goal slightly more than better than the Falcons. These two teams were not that far apart last year, and it's with Cousins giving away a couple games. And I think that the Falcons have improved their defense, and the Bucs aren't fully healthy. The biggest thing in this game, and I don't know, I think there's probably going to be a huge play, one way or the other. Both blindside tackles, who are one of the best in the NFL at their position, are out. For the Falcons, it's right tackle Caleb McGarry. He's one of the best right tackles in the NFL. He's being replaced. It was going to be Storm Norton. He's hurt. Who cares? You don't want Storm Norton in there. It's going to be Elijah Wilkinson. It's bad. Left tackle, probably the best in the NFL. Tristan Wirfs, he's out. It's going to be Charlie Heck. That's bad. So, and Penix is left-handed, so it's his blind side, and then Mayfield's right side. It's probably going to be a big play, someone blowing up off the edge that swings this game. But yeah, this would have been one of mine. I had to take the 2.5. I think this is more of a coin flip. And one thing that I thought here, my first thought when I bet this, because I said, should I wait for 3? I said, nah, 3's never coming. Maybe it will, but I don't think it will. And I said the Falcons always play 1 and 2 point games, right? Like it feels like all their games are decided by 2 points. And I went back and looked over the last 3 seasons, 15%, 15.5% of their games have been decided by 1 or 2 points. I think the average is probably like 8, 9%, somewhere around there. Um, so for some reason, it's just random. But
It's a Young Wei Koo tweet. This
yeah.
is about.
By the way, speaking of field goals, the Bucks last year didn't miss a field goal. Everyone was missing field goals against them. No one missed a field goal against the Falcons, and Koo was hurt, and their field goal kicking was not as good. That could flip this year. So yeah, and it looks like Mooney's a go, right? 'Cause that's important because the depth for the Falcons.
Yeah, it does look like it. Interestingly enough, I mean, Falcons, I will give them credit. The Bucks too. They're both similar in the sense that they are good at developing like their practice squad wide receivers. You know, the Bucks seem to always have like five extra guys. Falcons kind of the same way. Even if Mooney's out, I actually like their, Blair and Drummond, I think, and Sills is on the roster, and Washington. Like I think they'll be okay, but yeah, Mooney would be
I would
a
rather have
big
him.
lift. I mean, yes, but it's not as dire as it could be for some teams. Is what I'm saying. If he is out, but yeah, it looks like he's gone.
But I'm with you here.
Yeah.
Falcons plus 2.5.
And by the way, the reason that home field advantage, Falcons, Saints, probably dwindling, I would say, in my opinion, the two worst looking stadiums when you're watching it on TV, they just look dark. I don't know what it is, but they just look dark, and it's just not a problem anywhere else. So very odd. But all right, stage is set for NFL Week 1. All the bets that come with it, and now is the perfect time to upgrade to an Action Pro subscription. It's the only way to get real-time pick alerts from myself, Stuck, NFL prop master Sean Kerner, the odds maker, and our entire team of experts, plus all of the tools that you need to turn a profit betting this season, every season. Right now, new subscribers can get $20 off a year of Action Pro by visiting actionnetwork.com/pro and using code POD20, that's POD20, for $20 off for the full year. So you'll be covered for the entire NFL season, college football, March Madness, MLB, baseball, the NBA, of course. So don't wait. Visit actionnetwork.com/pro and use code POD20, that's POD20, to get $20 off a year of Action Pro. All right, Stuck. Now you can go ahead. Who you got for your second pick in the fourth overall?
Yeah, for my second pick and the fourth overall of the Week 1 Sunday six pack, I'm going with another divisional home dog. Last year was the year of the favorites. Road favorites went 80-28 straight up. There was some things with like fourth down aggressiveness, but I looked into it a lot. There's no reason why I should be afraid of fading a team like the Bengals, laying 5.5 on the road in Week 1 against a divisional opponent. Their defense, like you're asking this Bengals team to win with margin by 7+ essentially, and I don't trust their defense to do that. So I'm taking the Browns here. You mentioned some of the numbers. I mean, Week 1 divisional home dogs, 23-7 against the spread since 2010, 10-2 since 2018, 18-4 since 2012. And the Bengals historically have gotten off to slow starts. Now Burrow he wasn't dealing with the injury and he got a little bit more work than usual, so maybe that won't be an issue. But he's 1-9 straight up, 3-7 against the spread in his first 2 games. Taylor is 5-7 straight up as a favorite in September. That's with Dalton and Burrow. So there's some history here that says there might be a chance that the Bengals start slow. But I ultimately just don't trust their defense. There's still some issues along that offensive line. Like they're rolling with Patrick at guard. The guards leave a lot to be desired. And this Browns defense, the one thing they can do is they can get pressure. And Burrow has struggled against this Browns defense throughout his career. Newsom's going to move to the outside with the injury to Emerson. We'll see if he can have a bounce back season, contract year. Ward will be on the other side. Curious to see, like, the slot position scares me a bit with most likely Mitchell. But this defense can still get pressure. Ward can hold his own when he's matched up with Chase. And I think that this Browns offense, it's going to be the Stefanski look. This is going to be everything you'd expect, the whole kitchen sink. And it's the Bengals defense. Like anyone can move the ball against them. So I have to take the points here with the Browns at home. Week 1, you have the best option at quarterback under center and Flacco. Like just block Hendrickson. I know they brought in Al Golden. look at the cards he was dealt. I'm not sure how much he can do. Give me the Browns here. I think they're super live to pull off the upset. I think this will be close. And even if they're down like 10 late against this uh, Bengals defense, like very good chance they go right down the field, get a backdoor touchdown. But I think this will be close throughout. This Browns defense will show up. I think their secondary is going to bounce back this year. They pretty much quit last year, just given the quarterback situation. So that might happen again. We don't know where things are headed, but new season, new optimism, in-state rival, division rival, home opener. I think taking the points here is the move. So give me the Cleveland Browns.
Couple things here. Number one, I like the case you just made because I did bet this again on when we were doing our preview pod, and I was kind of getting ready to get out of my position. So I'm glad you kind of talked me off the ledge there. But I do think the Bengals making a concerted effort, Burrow making a concerted effort to kind of get some preseason work in is gonna help a little bit. But I am worried about the Browns. I just think we're a little too comfortable with this clown show. Like that is like it's Joe Flacco. It's a 40-year-old Joe Flacco. Their tackle is terrible. They have guys like Gage Larvadain probably getting meaningful reps at receiver. They hate all their running backs. They obviously are drafting for fit because they passed up on Henderson to get Judkins and they go and claim Rocket Sanders. They just wanted Deontay Foreman or something. Like I don't know what it is with them. So I don't know if this is all going to work, but you're right. The Bengals defense, even with Hendrickson, is still exploitable. I do worry about Flacco though. So I'm not long on the Browns, but this is the time. This is the time to do it. So I'm gonna hold tight.
Harold Fannin, anytime touchdown, baby.
Oh man, it's funny though because people did say, oh, why are you betting it so early? And I got a 6. I don't know if the 6 is coming back necessarily.
I would wait though. It's 5.5.
Yeah.
Bengals
You should wait.
Play. It's in the dead zone. Doesn't matter for the contest because pushes or losses, but wait to see if it's 6. But I think this is a field goal game.
All right. Third pick, 5th overall of the week. Number 1, 2025 Sunday 6-pack. The Jacksonville Liam Cones -3.5. The Jacksonville Jaguars -3.5 at home against the Panthers. And this is one where, back when lines first dropped, I ended up betting the Jaguars team total over. Didn't necessarily want to touch the spread. But I think the developments over the past few days have really kind of put this toward a Jacksonville edge here, even though Carolina's getting the hook. Now, first thing is, I think there's 3 things. Number 1, Bryce Young was improved down the stretch. That's obviously the most important thing for the Panthers. But what was that driven by? Wide receivers and offensive line. Wide receivers, as in Adam Thielen, got back healthy and was very productive. And Jalen Coker had a little mini breakout down the stretch as well. Well, they traded Adam Thielen, and Jalen Coker got hurt, I think, like the day after. So now he's on IR. He's out for this game. Bryce Young targeting Thielen and Coker last year, 71 of 96, 976 yards, 6.3% touchdown rate, 10.2 yards an attempt, 74% completions. Very good. To everyone else, the completion rate drops 12%. The yards per attempt gets cut in half, 5.4, and the touchdown rate gets cut in half to 3%. So this could be catastrophic. It's kind of flying under the radar a little bit because, Thielen's just an old slot receiver and Coker, it just has a cool name. But this is not good for the Panthers offense, especially with Ike Ekwonu, their left tackle, might be the wrong side of questionable. We'll see. Yeah, appendix issue. And then their right guard, Damian Lewis, should play, but he's banged up with a shoulder, which, not great for an interior lineman either. So not because the Panthers O-line is a strength, and that really helped Young. And it might not be a strength in week 1. And that is very good news for the Jaguars because what do they need to win with margin? They need a team that's not just going to bowl over them, their defense, because I think their defense is still going to be shaky. Probably can't be worse than last year, but it's not going to be great right off the bat. However, we know Liam Cohen improved this team, the Tampa Bay squad last year by 9 points. And Carolina was the worst defense in the NFL last year by DVOA. Carolina still has many of the same issues. Derek Brown is not going to fix everything. J.C. Horn has still been kind of in and out of practice. Josie Jeweler, linebacker, he's out again. So there's the same issues. They did add some pieces, some young pieces. I think it's going to take time, but Derek Brown's not going to be a cure-all for the worst defense in the league. So I think this is a situation where the Jags, it might be a close game for a little bit, but it will only take a couple of drives, and I think you might see the bad version of Bryce Young without Dewey and Coker, who were his two top receivers by yardage. The drop-off was just devastating without them. And Ted McMillan's a contested catch guy, so there's no guarantees that he's a difference maker right off the bat for this team. And I think the Jags also have the advantage of what are they going to do with Hunter? What special teams they've been creative. So just a lot of small edges as well. And they're at home. Give me Jacksonville -3.5. I have this at about 5 now with all the developments for the Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers not healthy. You have the Liam Cohen effect, the defensive scheme bump. They're going to play a scheme that's much better fit to their personnel. They did improve, I think, in their secondary. I'm curious to how they have like 2 slot guys, but I could with Jones and Lewis. So I'm curious. And then you have Hunter. How's he going to go into the mix? But I think they're more talented. The scheme will be better. Liam Cohen on offense. Their offense was allergic to innovation last year and motion and play action. It'll be much better. I think Lawrence is going to benefit from the Cohen bump. And then, yeah, you mentioned these injuries on the Panthers. Their D's still going to be really bad. I thought about the over in this game because I was a little worried. The Jags are probably going to go from fast to slow. And the Panthers aren't fast. Worries me a bit. Panthers probably just try to take away the explosive play here. But I think the Jags are going to get their points. I'm starting to think about a Jags team total over 25.5. What do you think about that?
I have it at 23.5. So that was another one we got early. We really talked through some good stuff.
Well, I didn't bet it early, so
I would 25.5. I would just bet both. Then I would still want the spread just to kind of hedge my bets, because I think there's a situation where there is some weather. I think there's a situation where the Panthers could just implode offensively. And like you said, Trevor Lawrence, they want him to have 2 plays every time he goes to the line of scrimmage. So if they get up and the Panthers just look, just listless, I mean, they're just going to hand it off to Quinn Allen, right? Yeah. So, I would kind of go half and half if you do it that way, just because 25.5 is it's a high number. I expect the Jags to get there a lot this year. But so don't hate it. But I would also just want the edge of them potentially blowing out the Panthers, which I think they very well might.
We'll talk about the kickoff rules in our total segment, our favorite totals. But for my third pick and the final of the Week 1 2025 Sunday 6-pack, I am going with the Tennessee Titans +9, baby. You can get a 9 out there. Not that it matters for the contest. We'll say 8.5. It's fine. You're going to give me over a touchdown in Week 1 of the NFL. I'm going to hit it more times than not. And I think the Titans are significantly improved. Offensive line, much better. Bringing a left tackle allows Latham to move to right tackle, more natural fit. Bringing a really good guard. Second year of a good offensive line coach. Last year was a disaster. Quarterback last year, an absolute calamity. Well, now you have the number 1 overall pick. All he has to do is not just toss the ball to the other team, and it's an improvement. So I think the offense should be more functional. Just won't be completely dysfunctional. The defense has some pieces. We'll see if Snead can actually, looks like he's going to play. Can he give them number 1 corner reps? Can he get back to his old form? If he does, I like their corner group. They have some good pieces up front. And their defense wasn't terrible last year, even though they got no help from anything. And then their special teams last year were one of the worst of all time. History of the NFL. I didn't love the pieces they brought in, but they overhauled the whole unit. So they just won't be a disaster. They can't be worse than last year. So there's a lot of things that are pointing up. It's not the best spot in the world. Like, if a rookie quarterback making his first start, rookie quarterbacks on the road in Week 1 are 8-21 straight up. About 500 against the spread, though. I don't need them to win this game. I just need them to cover 8.5 with a very low total. And by the way, dogs, low totals early in the season, total of under 41.5 or below. What's this total sitting at right now?
42.5.
42.5. Let me change it to 43. No, I honestly, I had that for the Jets game. Let me pull 43. Yeah, dogs low total first 8 weeks, 58%. under when the total's under 43. So if you're asking the Broncos to win by 2 possessions here in a game with a super low total, I get it. They're going to altitude, going to Denver. It's not an easy place to play against a really hard defense, but we don't know the Denver defense is going to be lead again. I've mentioned this in our preseason pods. Denver was one of the 25 best EPA defenses over the past 10 years. The past 24, only one improved on their EPA numbers. The average drop in rankings in EPA was 8.5. Last year, we thought the Browns and the Jets were going to be elite on defense. Look how we're talking about the Browns and Jets defense now. We're like, well, maybe we think they're going to be good. That's in 1 year because the secondary underperformed, and then there's injuries, and the Denver was extremely healthy last year. So I think this line's too high. It's my biggest edge numbers wise on the board. You're going to give me 8.5, 9 with the Titans, even with a rookie quarterback making his first start. I'm taking it. New year, new me, same bets. Titans.
Gotta be more responsible, bro. You gotta be more responsible. I can't. I thought you were gonna go on. I thought you were just gonna hammer the Cardinals as a road favorite. Honestly, I'm actually surprised. I would have lost the bet that you ended up going to Titans. But yeah, it's a big number, and the number keeps getting away too. It was in the sevens, and now it's 9. So I get it, but I just can't. I don't see anything about the Broncos outside of just saying, okay, there could be potential regression for regression's sake, but they improved the roster. They got guys working the preseason. People were, they had a hard cut down day because their roster was very good. They got a good coach.
It wasn't an elite team last year, though. People think this is an elite team. They won their 10th game. And by the way, they beat one playoff team all year. They won their 10th game because the Chiefs rested everyone. Like, Chiefs play everyone that game. They probably finished 9-8. They don't even make the playoffs. No one's talking about Denver how we're talking about them now. They get drilled in the playoffs anyway. Like, this wasn't some super powered team. Like, it's crazy. Everyone's picking Broncos to win the division. It's insane to me. Like, this is a team that had everything work out for them. Their defense was great. Their offensive line was great. They had no injuries. They had great game scripts for Knicks. But anytime they played a team with a pulse, they went 1-6 against playoff teams. Their one win was against the Tampa team we just trashed. So, I don't think that this team is in a different planet than the Titans, where they should be expected to win by 10 plus. Because I think the Titans are significantly improved. So, putting my money where my mouth is, I'm on the Broncos win total under, Titans win total over. So it's not a surprise I'm showing value here. Give me the Titans.
Titans might not have a pulse. I'm curious. Like, I'm just saying, there is a chance they don't have. I mean, the Broncos, yes, they 9 games if you take out that last week, the week 18 win, but the Broncos went over their season win total by more wins. Even if you take out that win in week 18, they went over their season win total by more wins than the Titans got last year. So the Titans could just be Sleepy Joe Biden, 2 years straight, just just sweeping through everything. Like, I'm curious. I hope they're better. I hope for your sake, but I'm not sold yet. I'm not sold yet.
Right. We'll see.
We got to see. But that was our week 1 Sunday 6-pack. Didn't disappoint. Recap. Let's see. We got some Russell Wilson, some Joe Flacco, Michael Penix, some Cam Ward, and who did I leave out?
I have Cam Ward, Joe Flacco, and Jordan Love. I
got Russ, Penix, and Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, that could be there's a world in which those are like the 6 worst quarterbacks in the NFL. But this is what we do. Sunday 6-pack, week 1.